Let me ask you a question. Have you been doing everything right, paying on time, keeping your balances low? Maybe you even disputed a few things that didn't belong on your credit report. So why is your credit score barely moving? Most people think the answer is patience. Just keep doing what you're doing. Eventually, the system will reward your effort. And listen, that advice is not wrong, but the problem is this. The system was not designed to reward your effort. It was designed to photograph your position. And there is a huge difference. Today I'm going to show you the back door that high scores quietly use, the one banks pray you never find. Here is the problem with how most entrepreneurs think about credit. They treat it like a report card. They study hard, they do the work, they pay on time, and then they wait for the grade to reflect what they did. But the credit bureaus, as we call them, don't grade behavior. They photograph a single moment in time. That moment has a name. It is called your statement close date. And I guarantee most of you watching this right now have never heard those three words put together like that. That's not your fault. That is by design. Because here is what happens when you don't know about it. You pay your bill on time every single month. You feel very responsible. You feel like you're winning. But the bureau, as we call them, already took its picture before you made that payment, and what it photographed was a balance of 40, 50, 60%. That is what's being reported to lenders. That is what's on your score, and that is what it is reflecting. Not your discipline, not your payment history, your position at one specific moment. Now, let me break this down so it is crystal clear. But before I do, I want you to like this video, subscribe to this great channel, hit that notification bell so you'll know every time I upload content just like this. So let's get to the breakdown. FICO and Vantage Score both use what is called utilization ratio. This is just a fancy way of saying how much of your available credit are you using right now? Right now means right now, not last month, not your average, right now. The moment the bureau took its snapshot. Here is the analogy I want you to hold on to today. Imagine you hired a professional photographer to come document your house for a listing. The night before the shoot, you had a dinner party, dishes everywhere, jackets on the couch. The kitchen is a mess, but you were planning to clean it all up in the morning. However, the photographer shows up at 7 a.m. before you cleaned it up, and they took the pictures. It doesn't matter that your house is spotless by 10 a.m. Those are the photos that go in the listing. That is what potential buyers see. Well, that is exactly what happens with your credit score. The bureau doesn't care what you did. It only cares what it saw at the exact moment it looked. I go to say that again, and I'm gonna get it over and over because you have got to get this down. The bureau, as we call them, doesn't see your behavior. It sees your reported balance at one specific moment in time. That is the whole game right there. So when people with 800 plus credit scores look different from the rest of us, this is why. They're not doing something more virtuous. They're not working harder. They are controlling what the bureau, as we call them, photographs. And that is exactly what we are going to talk about next. Here is the back door. 3 moves. Simple, strategic, and completely legal. Move number 1, the statement close date strategy. Here is what to do. Log into every active credit card you have right now. Find your statement close date, not your due date, not your billing cycle, your statement close date. This is the day the bureau takes its photograph. 3 to 5 days before that date, pay your balance down to 1 to 3%. Definitely under 10, not 0, but under 10. Because when that statement closes and the bureau takes its picture, what it photographs is 1 to 3% or under 10% utilization ratio. Not 40, not 60, not 20, 1 to 3, but definitely under 10. Same person person, same income, same payment habits, different positioning. And that made all the difference. Move number 2, the 4 to 7 reported utilization rule. Now, why do I want you at this rule and not 0%? This is where most people miss it. If you report 0, many scoring models treat that as a signal that the account may be inactive or unused, and it does not score as well as you would expect. People with 800 plus scores are not reporting 0. They're not reporting 30%. They're not reporting something that is not going to keep them consistently rising. So their sweet spot is between 4 and 7%. That is not a coincidence. That is a system they learned, and now you know it too. The pro move: if you have multiple cards, spread small balances across them rather than stacking all of your spending on one. This is for the business, only the business. A 10% utilization on 3 cards scores very differently than 30% on 1 card. Spread the load, control the picture. Move 3, authorized user positioning. Move 3, this one works fast. If someone trusts you, a spouse, a business partner, a family member, has an old credit card with a low balance and a perfect payment history, being added on as an authorized user on that account can shift your score within 30 to 60 days. Now, when I say loophole, I want to be direct about something. I do not mean something shady. I don't mean something illegal. I mean understanding how the system actually works and using that knowledge intentionally. Authorized user trade lines are recognized by FICO and Vantage Score. The account's age, payment history, and utilization get added to your credit profile. The pro move: look for accounts that are at least 5.5 years old, have never missed a payment, and carry a low utilization ratio. Age plus history plus low utilization, that is the combination that moves the needle. Now do me a favor real quick, if you haven't, subscribe to this channel, hit the like button, because we want as many people as possible to see this. This information should not be a secret. Help us put it in the right hands. Now, I have to tell you something, and I want you to actually hear this part, because what I just taught you, the statement close date, the 4 to 7%, but at least under 10% strategy, the authorized user strategy, these are real moves and they actually work. But here's what nobody's telling you. Most entrepreneurs don't have a credit problem. They have an identity reporting problem. Think about what we just talked about. The Bureau does not record everything you do. It takes a snapshot of who you are positioned as at one specific moment. Your score is not a grade, it's a signal. And the question is, what signal are you sending? Here's what I mean. Most of us were never taught to think of ourselves as financial entities. We were taught to be workers, consumers, borrowers. But a business owner, a real wealth building entrepreneur, operates as a financial entity, not a borrower, an entity. And the credit system, it responds differently to entities than it does to consumers. The truth of the matter that you must understand is your score is a lagging signal of your old positioning. And this is so critical that you get it. And when you do, it reflects who you were when those balances were photographed. Now, who are you right now? Not who are you becoming. This is something that you've got to get yourself positioned for if you want to win. And that is both the frustration and the opportunity, because the system only updates when you force it to. When you take the wheel, when you change the position, when you control what it photographs. I gotta say that again. The system only updates when you force it to. That principle does not just apply to credit, it applies to every area of your business and your life. Credit positioning unlocks business leverage. Business leverage creates life alignment. This is the CBL system. That is what we are building here. Here is your action plan this week, not someday, this week. Step 1, find your statement close date. Log into every active credit card you have. Look for the statement close date in your account settings. Write it down. Put it on your calendar. This is the date that controls what gets reported. Step 2, set the 3-day reminder 3 to 5 days before the statement date. Pay your balance down under 10%. Sweet spot 4 to 7%. Not on the due date, not after. before the close. You're not paying the bill, you're controlling the photograph. Step 3, audit your authorized user status. Are you on any accounts other than your own? Are those accounts in good standing, old, paid on time, low balance? If not, this is a conversation worth having with someone you trust. The right authorized user position can add 30 to 60 points in 60 days or less. Step 4, pull your reports. All 3. You can even use annualcreditreport.com for this. Pull Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. Compare the reported balances to your actual balances. You may be shocked at what the Bureau photographed. This is your starting point, because once you know what the Bureau is seeing, you can start controlling the picture. Here's what I want you to remember. This backdoor is not illegal. It is not a trick. It is not something shady that could come back on you. It is understanding how the system was designed and using it the way the designers never intended you do. That is not cheating the game. That is playing it at the highest level. The system was built to photograph a position. So decide what position you want to hold, then hold it before the camera clicks. That's alignment. That is the CBL Wealth Blueprint in action. Credit positioning working for you, not against you. Well, drop a comment. Which of those 3 moves are you implementing first? The statement close date strategy, the 1 to 3%, 4 to 7, or under 10 for sure strategy, or the authorized user move? Tell me. I read every single one. Now, if you're watching this and you realize that credit is just one piece of a bigger puzzle, that your business structure, your funding profile, and your identity are all connected, then the CBO Wealth Blueprint was built exactly for where you are right now. The link is in the description to get that coaching call with me. No pressure, no pitch, just the next level if you're ready for it. And I'm going to be looking forward to connecting with you again next week in the videos that are going to be coming up. A different bureau. We're going to be showing you some different tricks and things that you need to understand. And most entrepreneurs don't have an idea they exist. Subscribe so you don't miss it. Be blessed. I look forward to seeing you real soon.